Welcome to the Mediabox. Rapporteur Kate Osamor here to talk about your report on immigration and demographics here in Europe. Your argument, if I've understood correctly, is pretty simple. Europe doesn't have a choice.
Well, I'm trying not to argue because I want everyone to come on board. I think it's really important to look at the issue, and the issue is around dependency and how we can support elderly people. And one day we're all going to get old. So I'm trying to make it as apolitical as possible, but at the same time, make a clear statement that we have an aging population and we have migrants who are coming into the country, and whichever country that may be, and let's work together to see how we can support both.
And what about those demographics? Give us some examples of how serious it is.
Well, how serious it is at this point is that we have a bulging demographic, which is in the ages from, say, 50 to 60 years old, going up to maybe 90, which is good. This is positive. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be living that long, but because they are living that long, we need to find a way to make sure that they live in the most comfortable way as possible, because we have more and more people being diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's, or just living alone. And loneliness itself is an epidemic. It's not nice to use that word, but we have to be honest that a lot of us don't live near our families anymore. And with that, we have new communities moving in. So those new communities moving in, how better than to embrace them into the new community, but also help those people who are dependent. And I think it's a win-win, personally.
And what measures are you recommending in terms of those people being integrated, better helped in communities?
Well, one of them is actually looking at the need. So that's my report is doing that. That is the need. But then looking at how can that happen? Well, do we need to invest in public services? Do we need to make sure we're planning and including homes which will allow newly arrived communities to live side by side, more established communities? And looking at how we can make sure transport works, because I live and work and represent a very urban, constituency. But then we also have members who represent more rural communities. So how do we make sure that not one size fits all, but we look at where the issues are and how we connect people? So it's around connectivity, looking at the problem, and also making sure that if there's a language barrier, for example, what courses are in place? So to ensure that someone basically can speak the language. And that means also knowing how to be trained, how to actually look after people, to make sure that you know how to lift, how to put people down, because it's not just get on with it. We're not suggesting that at all. We actually are looking at skill sets and how can we build people up so that they can get on with their lives. Because one thing I really want to get across is that most people, when they leave their home, they don't want to. They're forced to. So if they're going to be embraced into a new place, let's bring them in, but also not abuse them. Make sure they have a skill set that they can take wherever they go all over the world.
Kate Osamor, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.